Hi Taurus, welcome to your love reading for November. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. One more. Taurus. Oh, hang on. Eight of Swords reversed. Excellent. This is you feeling like you can see a way out of a situation, no longer feeling like you can't make a decision or that you're trapped by an unhealthy situation, maybe involved with an unhealthy person or situation. All right. So this is, keep in mind, this is the background energy. Like this is what's been on your mind. So it's almost like an overall card to bring everything together. This is the first part of the month though. Okay. So just hang in there. Ooh, Nine of Swords, Ace of Swords reversed, the Devil. Three of Cups reversed, Eight of Cups reversed, Empress upright. Thank God for uprights. Four of Wands reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed. Sorry, just a few things coming in there. And Seven of Pentacles upright. Okay, so the first part of the month is this is like the first third of the month, okay? First third of November, so like till the 10th-ish. This is you having something weighing very heavily on your mind. Pretty worried about a situation where someone has stepped out on a relationship. You're feeling, if you don't know it for sure, you suspect quite heavily, and it's bothering you a lot, that someone is cheating in this relationship, okay? The advice is to not be in a committed or communal or sacred space with that person. This is not somebody that values your contribution or your person. And this is about transitioning out of I wouldn't say committed. I mean, it was intended to be committed, but this is a marriage or relationship in transition from going to coupled and committed and communal and connected to out of that. Okay. And that's the advice. All right. We've got the middle part of the month where there's no communication and there's probably some confusion, some lack of mental clarity. You might even be on the emotional side about this, Taurus. Rightfully so, especially if there's been if this isn't third-party involvement, this is things getting in the way of your commitment to each other. And it's quite worrisome for you. It's leaving you feeling confused, probably not talking to the person, but left with your own thoughts and try to suss this out, to work it out. And you're feeling like you can't walk away. You're not feeling a devotion or a commitment to it, but you're feeling like you can't leave either. This would be feeling like, okay, I'm walking away with purpose. I know I have a good idea, a good emotional feeling about this situation, in the sense that I feel pretty solid in my convictions and I understand what happened and I'm done with it. This is not. This is confusion. This is leaving the situation, but not leaving it emotionally or mentally. Maybe physically, but emotionally or mentally you still feel stuck. Not devoted, stuck. And this is feeling like you are starting to recover from that. This is telling you that the worst is over, that you're coming out of it, that it's going to be okay. Okay, so you're feeling kind of confused and lost and like, I don't know what to do, but the advice is, or the message is that you're coming back in from the cold. It's going to be okay. There is going to be clarity. There is going to be not necessarily reconnection with the person, but it's not, you might be feeling disconnected or worried about your security. Do not. This is recovery from that. This is regeneration. This is being let back in. This is things turning around. Okay. Not necessarily with that person though, because this could be Capricorn, Taurus, but there's a feeling of that you are in an unhealthy, that could be doubling down on this, that there's an unhealthy attachment here. Okay, there's a quite the that's one scenario, just saying. This is a relationship based on not a solid foundation. It could be based on there could be addiction in the relationship. There could be just unhealthy things, like cheating, things that make you feel. There could be emotional control. There could be financial control. It's bondage because you're stuck and kept there, not because it's healthy to do so. You could feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to find somebody else like this, that sort of thing. It's that unhealthy attachment, that thinking that kind of cripples you. And we have this over here that's showing that you're working your way out of this. And we've got this too, that's recovery from spiritual or financial loss. Okay. So you're coming out of it. And I think what this is saying is that you realize that you might have been, that this situation was unhealthy, that this right here was unhealthy. It's not necessarily your fault or the other. It's just what was built in the relationship. And someone could be, I don't get a lot of blame here. I don't get other than this right here that somebody is doing, but I feel like you're more interested in figuring out what the hell's going on so that you can extract yourself and become this instead of this. This is codependency. This is feeling stuck, not being able to leave, feeling barren inside. This is the divine feminine, creation, abundance, being quite confident and creative and optimistic on your own, setting out on your own to create your future, being receptive but not needy, being generous and not dependent, not doing it with an agenda, I should say. So this is, I think you're realizing that and you're feeling like, okay, I need to turn this ship around. Okay. This is Aries or Taurus. So it could be you. And this is you starting to think about things. Now keep in mind, we have the Venus retrograde. It's supposed to conclude around the 16th to the 20th. I've read mostly that it's the 19th. So this whole double whammy here of the heavies and the realization that, hey, this is not healthy. Faults aside, judgments aside, this is just not healthy. I just can't do this anymore. I need to get back to who I really am and be able to be in that creative space where I can also receive of like mind, somebody that has, that's into me that I can be myself with, not somebody that's going to take me for granted and cheat on me and step out in the relationship, and to where I need to feel like I'm just all out of sorts. And I need to be with somebody that respects that, you know what I mean? That just gets what a relationship is all about, reciprocal, that sort of thing. And this is you being in a place where you can look at the past and assimilate and look at the weight of everything and the magnitude and get the lessons out of it and figuring out what you want for your future, being able to create for your future. Okay. So the advice is to go from this. So this is what, basically this is how you're feeling initially. Like this is what's happened in the past. You realizing, oh my gosh, this is unhealthy. Then now it's like this review period where you're like, you know what? I'm looking at what happened. It was really crap. I want to get back to this place now. And the advice across the board is break away and take time to review. You need to pull back so that you can review this situation objectively and honestly. Not laying blame per se, because I think the blame might be pretty obvious. Although I'm not getting a lot of that. For the Tauruses I'm reading for, you're not interested in being in the mix with this person. You just want to get clear for your own sanity and be like, why do I, what is going on? What was it about this relationship and how can I not have this again and move on and, basically be a part of something that's respectful and loving to me like I'm willing to give. Across the board, even with the generals that I did, this was like that for everybody pretty much. There were very few situationals. It was more like overarching, like there was this period of the first 15 days was like heavy. And then the last 15 days was like coming out of it and everybody being able to come full circle or at least realize the lessons that they were supposed to learn. I think that's that Venus retrograde, honestly, because there's a lot of similarities. And I'm shuffling the deck to filth off camera. I mean, but the same themes, everything keeps coming up that has to relate to closure, paradigm shifts, that sort of thing, learning, thresholds. What do you want for yourself? Like a lot of self-care, a lot of self realization, actualization, or whatever you want to call it. Not actualization, you know what I mean. Shutting up. Show simple acts of kindness. All right. A simple act of kindness can energize you and bring happiness to those around you. Uh, this deck, while I really like it, this is the Whispers of Healing deck. I just don't know that, and I thought, okay, I like it for the love readings, but I think it's speaking to recovery more so than, and maybe that shows my prejudice because I'm like, oh, you know, it's going to be crap. People are going to need healing messages. But I'm finding that it's like it halfway resonates. I think this is more for a relationship in crisis, and I'm finding for the overall energies thus far, it's, I don't know, it's because a lot of the messages aren't about getting back together and reuniting with the person. This is almost like, okay, well, what do you do with the people in transition out of a relationship? And so anyway, sorry. Point being, it just makes me laugh because a lot of times it's not really applicable to the reading I just read. At least I feel that way. Some of you, this might resonate with showing simple acts of kindness. To me, I've been looking lately at it as a message to you yourself, meaning you take care of you. You do what's in your best interest. You start doing those loving acts of kindness for yourself. And it's been across the board, whatever comes up, like new love. It's like, yeah, new love in yourself. Oh, make time for each other. Yeah, make time for yourself. So it's almost like, yeah, this is great. Show simple acts of kindness to yourself. You know that game you play where it's like you say in between the sheets after it's like a baby shower game or something. It's like whatever a phrase says, then someone's supposed to say in between the sheets afterwards. Same type of thing. Show simple acts of kindness to yourself. So just that caveat. I don't think it's about showing simple acts of kindness to this person or this situation over here. I think this is about once you realize, you get your head around the situation and you realize what you want for your future and you're back on solid ground mentally and emotionally, this is about you taking the reins and doing that for yourself and starting to invest in yourself and indulge yourself and things like that. Simple acts of kindness for yourself. Okay, so this right here, this is about checking out what's on the other side. Grass is always greener, right? Well, it's because people crap there. This is about curiosity, about comparing, about being dissatisfied or satisfied. I think that speaks to this right here, okay? So this is confirmation you're looking for. It is. A lot of times people do that. They go check out, and I think this speaks to, yes, in fact, somebody was kind of stepping out on the relationship. They do that because they're dissatisfied, because they have an unhealthy pad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that whole checking out the grass is greener, it's either an impetus for change, like, oh, I like what's over there, I want to manifest that in my own life, or it's, hey, I really like what's over here, I don't want to go back and change anything, I just want this from here forward. That could be what was going on here and you just felt left high and dry. That's why you need to show kindness to yourself and take time for yourself and be alone and review, because this is not worth your investment, honestly, because this is a pattern for that person. And this also twofold could be working for you, is like, all right, let's see what's over here, because this was not working. So you now get to have free reign. You weren't happy here. Now you're in review and you're abundantly by yourself, single and in a safe space to do that and to figure out what you want. And so that could be your impetus for change also. Like, oh, I do like it over here. I'm not going back to that. It is better without that person, without that situation. Okay, so that's twofold. I think it confirms that this person, yes, was stepping out, but it's also you going, hey, I don't have to go back to that. It's better with that situation out of my life. All right. So as far as love, I'm sorry, there's not much here about a partner, just that you're transitioning out of the feeling emotionally trapped by it. But as far as new partnership, I don't see it. I see you being by yourself and in review and thinking about things and realizing the magnitude of what you have endured, and just that it was unhealthy. Any other advice for Taurus? Any other advice? Any other advice for Taurus? So we've got the Five of Pentacles reversed again. So this is, because of what happened, you're probably feeling I mean, this has been a shock and an upheaval, and like, oh my God, oh, quite the, I mean, the magnitude, it's pretty heavy here, especially with this right here. But I think this is doubling down on the fact that it's going to be okay. You're coming around, you're coming out of it. You will have help from friends. People are supporting you, even in the ethereal, you don't realize it, but it is going to be okay, because we have that right here too. So just know that even though you feel completely at a loss and you're devastated, you are coming out of it. It's going to be okay. All right, Taurus, good luck to you. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you know that you are supported and it is going to be okay. It seems bad right now. Probably the first, 15, 20 days of November, but there is going to be a shift, and you are going to come out of it and start on a different path, and you are supported, and you will have friends, and you will have help. Okay? All right. Thank you for stopping by. Take care.